live stream, and gonna stick with a theme I started the day before yesterday. So yesterday finished this cool little coffee stand build, little hipster coffee stand build, and we got the Tim Pool coffee barista guy, so that's kind of fun. And before that we did the Republic tank, which got me pretty into doing another Star Wars build. So just got me into Star Wars again. Love these purple trimmed 187, the clone troopers. So another fun theme. And I couldn't really think of a big theme to do yet that I want to, I guess, commit to, because I don't know, just keep it on the lookout for something that might be inspiring in terms of something new for 2026. So let me just do a Star Wars set. I actually have two of these. I didn't realize that. So the Dark Trooper Attack, another set maybe I can knock out in one sitting. Tavia, all right, and John Powell. Thanks for being here, guys, and thank you, John Powell, for being here and being a mod. Really appreciate that, especially sticking with me, guys, through all these live streams late into the evening, especially for you guys that are even further east of here, and it's a little bit later, or 3 hours later to be exact. So thanks for being here. Okay, we're gonna work on 75324, the Dark Trooper Attack. I guess you could make an argument that this is a legitimate Star Wars set that could belong in the canon, but you know, I don't know, maybe you couldn't. It just has a it's kind of like a, what could I say, not a mirror image, but oh, John Powell, you took this apart, huh? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. Contrasting image to Darth Vader, you know, in episode 4 of the original Star Wars movie. They arrive on they use their tractor beam to reel in the rebel ship, and then Darth Vader boards with stormtroopers, and then he goes and basically enters the ship and takes out the rebel pilots and semblance of guard on the ship. And of course, now you got the opposite. You got Luke on an Imperial craft taking out the Dark Troopers. So there's, yeah, and I know it's an obvious contrast there in the I think it was in Mandalorian, episode 2 that this came out. So yeah, a very cool scene, I might add. Definitely something, especially during the time it aired, as people were all kind of, you know, stuck in their homes for a certain big worldwide limitation event. But very cool scene to kind of revive the Star Wars fans. I don't know if there was hope that Star Wars might get better at that point. You know, at least on the TV series with those Mandalorian, those first 2 seasons, it seemed like it was going to be pretty good. And, you know, then Disney couldn't get out of its own way. So, but this build, let's see. Let's put it together. It was a push tab, and I think this probably retired also about 2 years ago. So, and we got some stickers, got some inside look here. John Powell says, that's one of the Star Wars sets I took apart. Glad to help. It's a copy of the Darth Vader scene at the end of the Rogue One. Yes, that's what I was trying to think of. Like the Rogue One scene was definitely we could say like a prequel version of, yeah, what would happen later. So yeah, they barely escaped with the plans, or not even anyone, I think, was it R2, got away with the plans to the vulnerability of the Death Star, but that whole entire crew got wiped out by Darth Vader, which then led to him repeating what he did sort of on the episode 4 of the start of the movie of the Star Wars original trilogy. But that's right, that was the Darth Vader version, yeah, where it just shows his lightsaber and kind of the mist and the smoke, and then he just totally takes out everyone. And then Luke does that here. That's what it was. I knew there's a more accurate contrast. I took apart the battle tank also, it says John Powell. yeah, so John Powell, you totally dismantled the whole thing, and now they're stored away for whatever may come next. Storage, safekeeping, reselling, modifying, or passing on the collection to the next generation when they realize, you know what, I do like Lego. Let me get back into it. So this is what we're building. If you like Lego and you like building and talking about Lego, this is the Dark Trooper Attack. 166 pieces. And let's see. This little guy was 149 pieces. So this definitely does look a lot smaller than what I'm going to build here, but only just about 10 pieces more, or 15 pieces more or so. I guess 16, whatever. So let's go from a nice coffee barista setting to Star Wars and Luke and the Death Troopers. Only 2 bags. And you know what? If I get into a bigger set, after the Harry Potter sets, I learned like I need a good size, almost like a dining table. Small IKEA dining table. That would be a good workstation here. But this fold-out card table has been pretty good. It doesn't take up much space in this room here, so it kind of feels like a nice cozy fit without giving up too much floor space. But that's the setting I'm in here to do this build. And there's the instruction book. Easier to see the set here and the picture art here. So, okay, John Powell says, storing for now, might sell later. That is the conundrum. I have some sets stored too, John Powell, and looks like we start with the Luke. You get right away. This is definitely a kind of a battle pack made for, I think, you know, young fans of Lego, because let's get to the good stuff first and build up the Luke and the lightsaber in bag 1. So that's fun. And then, yeah, you get the Dark Trooper with, oh, the headpiece is kind of fun with I didn't notice that, with the red visor or the red eye kind of robotic look there. So let's do those 2 guys. And the rhyme and reason of Lego is to put a bag within a bag and put smaller pieces in the bag, but it doesn't mean that all the smaller pieces are in the smaller bag. It just means some of them are, because then you open this and you can tell there's the big plate pieces, but then there's minifig parts also. So I'm not really sure what the reasoning is, other than, you know what, I couldn't make sense of it, but that's what Lego does, because in the bigger bag you have the Dark Trooper head right here. So whatever, it works. So I'm building the upscale race driver at the moment. Oh, you got it, John Powell. Yes, you got the blue astronaut. Did you say race driver? I think you meant space driver, but I'm picturing the space guy, the upscale space guy. So cool. That one is on back order, and so if you want to get that, I guess you gotta wait. And the torso here for the Dark Trooper, no, the torso, whose torso is this? This doesn't have to look at like the pic. Oh, okay, it's the Dark Trooper. The Dark Trooper torso kind of looks like, well, I guess initially speaking, Darth Vader torso, but then I guess you get a little bit closer. Not exactly the same. Hey, Brickable World. Welcome to the live stream, you guys. Thanks for being here. Okay, John Powell, thank you. Let me pin that. Let's like and subscribe. And definitely a modest goal compared to my fellow YouTube channel friends, Brick Together and D&M Bricks. They bring on the likes. They definitely do a 20 to 40 like live stream on a regular basis. So good for them. Someday I can aspire to that. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I get to that point. But yeah, maybe it's because of the time I live stream. But either way, thanks for all of you guys who are here joining in the live stream. And let's see. John Powell says, I'm building, the upscale race driver at the moment. But I want to say it's, yes, no No, the race car driver. The blue Benny will be here tomorrow. Oh wait, oh the Octane guy. That's what it was. I don't know. Somehow I read into that blue in your other comment, but it's upscale race driver. I don't know why I think of blue, but yeah, blue Benny will be here tomorrow. Oh, it is an upscale Benny. It's not just a random blue astronaut. Okay, so you got the Octane guy, I think. How is that built? Well, I'm sure it's cool. The Santa one, the upscale Santa one is cool. I got the regular Lego guy with the red hat, upscale guy. That's what I should do next. John Powell, give me ideas. I know R&B said, oh, what about a Lego Movie 1 build? But I think I'm gonna take a page from John Powell's inspiration and do maybe an upscale figure. Because I got that regular upscale guy, had him for a while, and have not built him up. So yes, okay, after Star Wars, we got to do an upscale figure. That Octane guy though, that definitely would be a build I would enjoy. So of course I would. It's Lego. All right, so the Dark Trooper has it's almost like football protective pads here, so that's funny. But the Dark Trooper with his Vader looking torso piece here. Love the red visor, or I guess more like the red, I don't know what you call it. It's not eyes, it's a robot, but yeah, whatever those are. Those the red eye visuals on the headpiece there. And then his helmet. Got his helmet here, and then just a kind of a as per usual. There's the helmet. It's looking very intimidating with these pieces here. That's the cool part about Star Wars. It definitely makes these black pieces look pretty slick and smooth. There he is. Good focus on him there. All right, so that's one Dark Trooper. The gun piece, or the blaster piece. We can't say the regular name for a weapon, but the blaster piece is just a double up of like I think these are pretty common, these kind of double barrel blasters, and then you add an extension which can be used as also binoculars, probably if you didn't connect it here, but there we go. And I really don't remember in the actual episode, The Mandalorian, if they had blasters like that, where they kind of double barreled like that. Pretty intense. But then these guys are almost invincible compared to anything else in the show. And then when Luke shows up, it's like just a wall of sand. He just knocks it all down. No probs. And here we go, Luke with his now recognizable signature prosthetic hand there, and then his regular hand, of course, going back to, was it Empire Strikes Back, where he gets his hand lopped off by the duel he had with Vader at the end of Empire Strikes Back, I think. Where did that battle take place? Was that in Cloud City or somewhere else? I just remember him hanging he like goes down the ventilation shaft or something, and then he's hanging on the outside of the, whatever that is, some kind of space station, and then yeah, his hand is no more. Okay, Luke's got kind of a very meh expression there. But he does have a second meh expression, if you like that, like really blank. But a cloth cape, which is, I don't remember if those were brought back or not, but yeah, or did they have those originally? But yeah, cloth cape, again, very cool build. And then instead of the hood and the cape being one piece, that you get like a headpiece, almost like a ring wraith kind of hood there, and doesn't cover his face fully. So it's got that, the kind of nice molded shape there on the back. Whoa, I never noticed that before. It does have like a Vader back
shape to it that way. I don't know if that was intentional, but definitely, like, if you see him from the back, you're like, oh, it's Vader, and then whoosh, it's Luke. That's kind of an interesting detail there. Maybe people have pointed out before. I haven't really seen a review of this set, and I don't even know if you pick up on that in the Mandalorian show itself. But anyway, or maybe I'm just reading into it. But doesn't that look like the back of Vader's head? Like father, like son. There you go. So he has a green lightsaber. So I guess that would be another. There'll be another sign there, right? Or that would be another telltale sign, right? He's got a green lightsaber, unlike Vader, so it's red. So I guess that would be a giveaway. It's not him, but anyway, thought that would be interesting to point out. Brickable World says, I didn't know you could spam I said hi by backing out and coming back into the stream. Oh, I didn't know that either. So it's like an automatic thing, but it happens, it can just go automatically keep on saying hi. I didn't know that. All the upscale figs have the same basic build. Yeah, John Powell, they do. It's true. I guess the basic build is fun, but the cool part also is that it's a different design and everything. Brickable World says, I had the original Lego Helm's Deep. Oh, when I was 13. Lost everything I ever owned in storage. Baby photos, everything. Are you serious, Brickable World? Man, the memories plus, yeah, these sets. That is not something you really want to dwell on. Oh man, that's hard. So now you gotta literally rebuild your collection. Hey, Cole. Psh, Cole is here. I haven't seen you in a while. Cole is here to say hello, hello, hello. Good to see you guys here. JBT is here as well. And thanks, guys, for being here. John Powell says, yes, it is Cloud City. It is Cloud City where Luke falls through the ventilation shaft, and then yeah, that's where he gets rescued by the Falcon, now being piloted by Lando Calrissian, and then off they go. And of course, with the technology from a galaxy far, far away, they immediately get him into a droid, medical droid that gives him the prosthetic, and he's good to go. Although they made the hand look like a human hand, it wasn't like this dark thing. I don't know if that was symbolized in Return of the Jedi or not, where it was just a glove. I guess it was. So yeah, when they reintroduce him in the Return of the Jedi, he shows up to Boba Fett's lair, and yeah, obviously he has the Jedi powers, or more Jedi power skills or something at that point. So yeah, there's some good, I thought, some good storylines there. Some people think it's, I don't know, nonsense or whatever, but yeah, I don't know, the storytelling was pretty good back then. And then the controversial era that it is now, Disney Star Wars. But the Lego sets, we'll focus on those. That's cool. Brickable World says, it is what it is. Took me a long time to get over it. Recently been trying to acquire old things. Started with DVDs and PS2 games. Oh, that is awesome. I have a PS2 console as well, Brickable World. I got that. I got the PS1, the latest technology in gaming. Love that thing. And there was a game called Medal of Honor, like World War II themed game. Love that game. And then I got the mini PS2, which was basically like a small, it looked like a CD player, or a small Walkman, Discman player. It was like a small console. Got that, and got the newer version of Medal of Honor for that console. And that, I only had that game. There were two versions of that Medal of Honor. There was one for the D-Day landing, and then one for the fighting the Japanese in the Pacific. And just the graphics in that game, you could, this was kind of like first person point of view. I just love that game. Still have that console. We tried to hook it up the other day. Oh, I can see it there on the table. But it has, I don't know if, I have to find an adapter where you can attach it to all these digital TVs. But yes, Brickable World, good stuff. Trying to get the old stuff is fun. It's just stuff. Good point also. Good point. Cole says, I've been here for the past 12 minutes. Cole, but who's counting, man? Thanks for being here, Cole. Cole, missed you since the last time when you were able to be with me with the earlier live streams. Cole saying hi. Brickable World saying hi. JBT says, my birthday happened recently. Let's go. And in good fashion, W stream, absolutely. Thanks, Cole. Thank you. Brickable World echoes that. Medal of Honor is fantastic, dude. Yes, you know what I'm talking about, Brickable World. That game is as kids like to say, the GOAT, man. I love that game. Medal of Honor is fantastic. Heck yeah, says Cole. Love it. Damos. Good to see some familiar names back on the live stream as I build this set here. The Dark Trooper Attack, 75324, 166 pieces. And you get to build young Jedi looking Luke. What do they call him here? Oh, they just call him Luke Skywalker here. And one of the Dark Troopers in bag one. And slowly building up the platform to this, what was this thing? Where did he, was it on a board that, it was almost like a Star Destroyer ship. Was it Moff Gideon's command ship where this was supposed to be? Or, I don't know, what was it? It was on one of those ships. But yeah, obviously you only see that. This part only has the interior entrance bay to it, the landing bay or something like that. But yeah, that was a cool moment in the Mandalorian mini series on the Disney streaming service. And once that, once that season 2 ended, then they of course did like a teaser trailer for the return of Boba Fett, and I thought it looked cool. I thought the beginning of that looked cool, and it sort of got into that series. It was, I don't know. I don't know what happened to it. Like, it started with his storyline, and then it seemed like they realized that wasn't enough to keep that series of episodes going, and then it just turned into another Mandalorian episode, or another Mandalorian season 3 or whatever, half season of it. So yeah, that was crazy. JBT says, gotta go. JBT, here and gone. Thank you, sir, for being here, and leave a like before you sign out. Brickable World says, yeah, you need the AV to HDMI adapter for it with the new TV with no AV component plugins. But to be honest, it looks absolutely horrible on new TVs. Do yourself the biggest favor and find a nice old CRT TV. Yes, I tried that. I did exactly what you said. I got the HDMI adapter because we have a DVD player. Actually inherited a DVD VHS combo player from my wife's uncle, and because he wasn't using it anymore, and it was just fun to have that vintage, to put the VHS tape in there and hear the rewind. So fun. But yeah, the DVD player, it works. It's just yeah, the picture quality is so bad. It's like, yeah, you need the old tube TV to really, I don't even know if we could find one anywhere. You probably could, right? Brickable, you could probably find one at like oh, what's it called? Salvation Army, or maybe one of those kind of secondhand stores. There's got to be something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's so classic. Maybe people are buying up all the classic stuff, and maybe it won't be easy to find. But yeah, the picture quality, the adapter, you think they could make a better adapter. Maybe it's just the way the technology is now. It just doesn't handle the simpler form of video. I don't know. But yeah, we have a bunch of DVD movies from, basically the late 90s, early 2000s, and just doesn't look good. The sound is kind of garbly and everything. Yeah, there's no easy fix to that other than getting a old TV and just watching from there. So All right, this platform. It's so interesting how Lego platforms, you start building, you're like, what in the world? This is just wonky stuff. Yeah, this is gonna be the platform. It looks like we got some turnstile stuff here maybe to simulate a battle. I mean, that's seriously, you need an old CRT TV to really make it look perfect and enjoy it again the way we used to. It looks horrible even with the upscaler on new TVs. Oh, for sure. That is the problem. I gotta have to figure that out. Trying to see if I could. Those old TVs though are so heavy with the tubes inside. Damo says, just dreamt that me and my fam moved out of our house and we got a house in the Capitol. In the Capitol building, like in DC, Damos? That's kind of interesting. Brickable World saying hello. What's your favorite Lego set? Welcome, Nijara. Is that how I would say it with the X? Nijara? Psh, welcome. Favorite Lego set? That's a good question, and it will always be. I don't know what will change my mind because of this. There's so much backstory to it, other than just being a really cool build. Is the Ninjago City modular, the original Ninjago City modular. Let me give you the set number for that because it might give you some more context. So yeah, that build, I think it came out in 2017, and whoops, and that one is basically a set I saw when I had gotten back into Lego. My kids had obviously liked Lego for a while. They're all a lot younger, a lot smaller, and got that set, or looked at that set for a while. It's set 70620, and man, just, I couldn't believe there were Lego sets so cool and like a big tower build like that, and look how the color and everything. So yeah, this is my favorite set right here, the Lego Ninjago City. I have it built up. I need to actually rebuild it because it's all dusty and everything, and I've said that on several live streams. I need to act on that, but there's so much to do, so many sets to like work through. This is what happens. But yeah, thanks for asking, Najara. John Pell says, yeah, my Nintendo 64 looks terrible on new TV. Got to use analog. This is the way, man. It's like this is the way. This is the way with music as well. I've heard, like, I don't know if it's 100% true, but a lot of young people are just getting back into LPs and getting record players because maybe it's for just the uniqueness of it and kind of the novelty, but records and just that crisp, authentic sound of hearing a track on a record. So maybe that'll be the way with TVs. I miss playing that game. That when you mentioned that, Brick World, yeah, the PS2. That is a fun console, and I don't know what number they're up to now. Is it PS5? Actually, that's not too many iterations, but the PS5 is out, and I don't even know how much those things cost. Probably like $500, $600. But yeah, the PS2, especially with that Medal of Honor game, man, I would play that. That's the only thing I would play. I wasn't like, some grown-ups, they like toys as well because they can afford them more, sorta. But yeah, I was never a gamer, but that Medal of Honor game and PS2, that's all I needed, man. That's all I needed for a little bit of a gaming venture. Brickable World says, good, yeah, VHS is all I really watch anymore. Grew up with it, and my family owned a movie store. Oh, that is so cool. So I grew up in a movie store, going in and renting the movies. I remember the plastic cases that surrounded the cardboard box of the VHS. You just kind of squeeze the bottom and out comes the cassette. Oh yeah, good stuff there. Family owned a movie store. Grew up in a movie store in our home, basically, and have seen so many films my whole life. Oh wow, nothing will beat VHS and 35 millimeter film, which I have. A few 35 millimeter films on actual film and a bunch of old TV spots. Trailers on film also, with no way to play them yet, though it is expensive. Yeah, I know. I was thinking, my wife and I, our wedding was videotaped, and it came in one of those adapter cassettes. So it was like a smaller tape, probably about that size, and then it went into an actual VHS cassette, a bigger cassette. I guess because the tape could just like reel out and go onto the bigger tape. But that we've thought about for a while, like putting that on a disc. Or I guess now they could just make it into a digital format. I wonder if the picture quality would get totally ruined though. So yeah, Brickable World says yes for sure. JP, smaller old flat screens will work on analog. Says John Powell. You know, we did get a. I don't think we have anymore. I'm trying to think. We just got like a regular projector. You know, something you'd attach your computer to, and then you know, project on the wall. So it's like you have your own kind of movie theater. And that we would just play DVDs on our computer or whatever, and then attach the computer to the projector and do that. I wonder if I could do that with, although computers don't really have DVD players anymore either. That'd be kind of fun to do that with a PS2. Attach the PS2 to the projector, and then yeah, have it projected on the wall. Oh my gosh, what a fun teenager thing to do, at least back in the day. Brickable World says, I've got hundreds of records, man. It's been nice, honestly. The new desire to get vinyl, we're getting a lot of stuff from the 90s that was never on vinyl and remasters. Oh man, that's the other thing, Brickable World. I was gonna say, you probably, growing up with your family owning a movie store, you probably got tons of promo items, singles, movie trailer type promo tapes, I would guess. And then yeah, like posters, playbill posters maybe. Oh, Brickable World bringing in the old school. I got Black Sabbath original album Paranoid. That's super expensive now, apparently because of Ozzy Osbourne being, oh yeah, passing away. I gave it to my son I'll give it to my son one day. Very cool. Brickable World says, I love my projector. I hooked my VHS to it. Closest thing to a theater at home for me at the moment. I think that's the best. I mean, I know people buy these huge big screen TVs at Costco or whatever. It's like half the size of your wall. And the sound is pretty intense and all that. I've never thought about getting anything, you know, that crazy and I don't know. I don't know if expensive is the word, but just like that cumbersome to put on the wall. Although again, they're pretty light, or I don't know if those would be that light, but I don't know if I ever think of getting anything that complex for like a home entertainment. I think the projector and just the link up to like a CD player or a DVD player, and you know, just the basic sound that I guess you could just plug in like some speakers too, some, you know, computer speakers, and there you go, man. I think we did that before we moved overseas. We did have that kind of setup, and it was like the easiest too, because as everything started to get packed away, didn't have much out anymore. Sold the TV and everything, but we kept the projector because we were going to use that, and it was easy to travel with. Had the projector and small little compact DVD player, and no furniture because we were moving, and just put all the movies on the wall. Watched the Lorax, watched a bunch of like classic, old classic now I guess, like Cars or whatever, Kung Fu Panda, all those fun movies with my kids, projected on the wall. It was pretty fun. I meant VCR. Yes, lost them in storage. Ugh. Besides a box of tapes and Star Wars poster and high road, you could have you probably had. Speaking of vintage stuff, before George Lucas got a hold of his movies and tried to remaster everything and add in all those ridiculous digital CGI type images to his original movies. Yeah, you could have had. Oops, I think I got the wrong color plate here. But yeah, to have the original Star Wars VHS tapes where none of that stuff was edited in, or from Return of the Jedi, like the original Anakin, the older Anakin guy versus the Hayden Christensen ghost that was put in there, or, you know, Jedi guy. Like, why did Lucas do that? It was, you know, the telltale signs of Star Wars becoming a meme unto itself. We had the standee cutouts. That's it. Michael Keaton from Batman '89. Nice. When Batman, that was the first feature film. Remember that? And Prince did the soundtrack for that. Tons of awesome cutouts, displays, posters. Lost it all. I was too young to work and do anything about it. Ugh. I do have original versions of the films on VHS that I've gotten recently, before all the remasters and everything. Yeah, the original release of the Star Wars, the first time they did the trilogy on VCR or VHS tapes. But yeah, that was before, I'm pretty sure that was before George Lucas kind of wrecked it with all his add-ons with, I think one of the most blatant scenes from when he did all those extra, like I think because they did like a theatrical re-release of Star Wars, like when it was a year or two before they're gonna release the Phantom Menace, and they did a re-release of all those Star Wars films in the movie theaters, and so that therefore the adding on all that new remastered stuff, and it did seem kind of cool when they showed the X-Wings going to approach into the attack mode of the Death Star, and they showed like instead of, I don't know, 10 ships or 15 ships, it was like a whole fleet of X-Wings. But that kind of made it inconsistent with the storyline because they only sent a few ships in to try and get past all the defenses and attack the Death Star. So that didn't make sense. And then, but that earlier in the film, they had, Luke is on, I think it's Mos Eisley, and he's trying to look for, I don't know if he was looking for Han Solo just yet. Oh yeah, or he was with Obi-Wan, and they're on Mos Eisley kind of looking for a pilot to basically track down Princess Leia or something. I forget all the storyline, but anyway, when they're in Mos Eisley and he's just kind of walking through the town, and before they did that zoom out of Mos Eisley and they had all that extra scenery, there's just one part in that scene, I remember it because it's so dumb looking, is they had like the scene and then a robot like go across the screen like this, one of those R2 or R1 units go across like this, and it's like, what did you do to your film? It's so lame. Anyways, that stuck out to me. I had to do the setup for that because it was so ridiculous. John Powell says, I've got the original Star Wars on VHS and then the next two versions also. Brick World, yes, heck yeah. I currently am watching a really great Scorsese film, King of Comedy. Oh yeah, that came out a while ago. That's right. John Powell says, yeah, back when Jabba was just a chubby dude. Exactly. Brickable World says, I've seen that, John Powell. Crazy. We're living the Clone Wars. We're living the Clone Wars, just a different kind, says Brickable World. Good movie memories, though. Yeah, that once you mentioned that Brickable World, once you mentioned the PS2, I'm like, oh yeah, that was the console. That's all I needed. And then, of course, moving overseas and all that stuff, and starting a family. You can't really just devote time to all that, but it was a good season of the only type of gaming, a World War II interactive game. Didn't need all the new kind of like, I don't know what they're all called now, like the kind of the commando type games. But yeah, just that Medal of Honor one, that was perfect. Had kind of the sense and the feel of like the Saving Private Ryan movie with going in on D-Day and landing on the beach though. Not, oh yeah, the Saving Private Ryan was that. Yeah, landing on the beach of Normandy. Just a cool setup and scenario for that game. Was really good. And then you could, maybe kind of took away from the challenge, but for those games, maybe you can still still do the same thing in newer games where you get the invincibility mode and then you can just steamroll through the entire movie or the entire game, and just take out all the German soldiers that you come across to finish the game. And I don't remember what the objective was. It must have been to deliver a message or something. Oh, it was pretty fun though. Brick World says, All Quiet on the Western Front, the original one, is one of my favorites. Oh, movie? Brickable World, All Quiet on the Western Front, the one that came out. Oh, what was that? The guy who played the main character was from the Waltons TV show. But yeah, good book, good story. That's the one. Okay, yeah. Forgot his name. You know, John Boy, that guy, that character. What was his name? But yeah, he was in that movie, All Quiet on the Western Front. Yeah, they have done a remake of that. They've done a few, I want to say. More and more, though, the way movies get, it's like they over sensationalize, or I don't know, fast forward the action sequence, so it doesn't look right. But I thought actually one good World War I movie was the movie 1917 that came out, where yeah, it was just filmed really well with that one track shot almost. I think they might have changed cameras once or twice, but yeah, that was a good one. I like that one. You got the two main characters, their point of view the whole time, and the camera just follows them along the way. That was a good, I thought, a good depiction of World War I. Just the kind of the treachery, I guess you could say, of war in the trenches, and then of course they have to have a dramatic story in the sense that getting those guys going on a journey on their own, a special mission. But yeah, that was a good one. So, hey, Math is back. Math G34. I ran into a problem of running out of space for Lego. Boom. Yes, I hear you, Math. You mean like where the table can give up no more real estate, right? Kind of a little bit of a crowding of a Lego city shanty town kind of thing like that. Yes, I know what you mean, Math, but it's one of those things where then you got to rotate sets in and out. Of course, that takes time, but dismantling sets is kind of like a spring cleaning type of task you can give yourself. All right, so the bag one of 75324 Dark Trooper Attack is coming together nicely. Just a fun discussion on all things vintage, which is funny to think of our generation having vintage stuff as it's being like old and novel. But we have a movable part here, whoops, that I didn't realize. So it looks like you can move Luke across, and maybe he's fighting all the battle droids. We'll see what this all turns into. I know some of you, John Powell, you've built this up already, so don't give away what this is all leading to. I haven't seen a review on this set, or if I did, it was a while ago, so I don't remember exactly what details this will all become. But it's a pretty cool build thus far. I like the Dark Trooper minifig and the Luke Jedi minifig. So, and it brings back the young Luke Skywalker from, you know, Return of the Jedi days. And I was pointing out that just this hood and then just this subtle turn here, maybe it was meant to do this. There's no way this is something that just consequential. But yeah, the back definitely has that Darth Vader vibe, like right there, right? Except for his hand being exposed. But yeah, Darth Vader vibe right there. So we've got that Easter egg kind of discovery, I guess you could say. And I don't know if they made a point of showing that in the Mandalorian series itself or not, but nevertheless, it does have that in the minifig design. So that's kind of interesting. And the rest of this base is just covering it with all the remainder plates. Get a couple extra pieces here. So yeah, bag one, bottom or ground level built up for the what did Luke land in here? Is this like the entrance from the hangar bay into the ship itself? So yeah, that's the base part right there so far. And it looks like Luke can stand on this thing, and then I don't know if he takes out the battle droids one by one. So we'll see what this all leads to. A few extra pieces here. Whoops. Nothing too exciting. You do get another cool lightsaber hilt, so that's cool. And then a couple one by one studs. So we've got one Dark Trooper built up and one Luke, and I think bag 2 has the other guys. So let's continue on here. So Math, yeah, I hear you about the space. John Powell says, the real home of the family that the Waltons was based on is close to me in Virginia. Oh, very cool. Is it closer to West Virginia, John Powell? I was thinking that setting was like closer to that, but maybe not. And it was like, what was that, like 1920s? I want to say it was older than that, but I remember when that show was out, they did end up getting a car. So it definitely was not in the 1800s. Math Q says, or Math G says, so that is considered a Lego city. You're gonna like this set I built, and it's great. Oh, very cool. Yusuf, welcome, welcome. That's just a Lego thing because it should just be the hood of his robes. Ah, okay. So I don't know. I think it's worth showing off though. It's just a Lego hood thing. I guess you could see other hoods, like maybe one of the guys from, oh, I can't think of his name right now. The blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy. He does have a hood. Maybe it's like that too. But doesn't it? It's got that shape right there, right there. You catch it with the cape. Maybe it's because of the cape. You got the Darth Vader right there. Except the lightsaber should be red. So there's that. I'm gonna point that out. Maybe I'll do a little video short of that. Brickable World says, I haven't seen past the second episode of Mandalorian. I just get busy and kind of just don't watch that stuff anymore, Besides spending every second I can with my son, I'm having trouble figuring out what I want to do. I hear you, man. This is where the brick therapy comes in. John Powell says, oh no, the setting for the Waltons, right outside Charlottesville, Virginia. That's some pretty country out there from what I remember, John Powell. Some really pretty country out there, which makes sense as to why Robert E. Lee said there's no way he could go against his home of Virginia as the Civil War broke out. But yeah, that would love to go back east again. I think John Powell, maybe I'm misremembering. Did you say you were near Mount Vernon also? So again, just some really cool historic spots out there on the East Coast or in the eastern half of the US. Would love to take a summer road trip through some of those states. That's what you can do when you're retired, you know, just go on a long road trip and visit all those historic sites. I'd love to go on the East Coast and just overall go to see. I like history a lot, so I'd like to see some of the old battlefields, places, historic sites like Gettysburg, or if you go into Virginia, like I think maybe Fredericksburg would be out there, or see George. Yeah, obviously see Mount Vernon. I'd like to see Thomas Jefferson's home, Monticello. That would be amazing. Yeah, and then just kind of work through going to Pennsylvania. There'd be the Gettysburg site, of course. Oh man, yeah, love history, love time to go see all that. I've been to Mount Vernon, but that I just love how that museum's done. I remember going there as a little kid, and that was the last time I had gone there. I went there with my great aunts back in the 80s, and then hadn't been there since, and then went back just about 2 years ago with my kids and my family, and loved it. Didn't realize how much more they had redone that whole museum there, all the museum experience, plus seeing the house and the movie theater and everything. Oh, it was a really cool place to visit. John Powell says, yeah, that's just Lego. Brickable World says, I haven't seen past the second episode of Mando. The Real House to the Waltons is about a third of the TV one. Oh, okay, so like a lot smaller. Not real far. I'm close to, I live close to Charlottesville. I have to look on a map, John Powell. I really don't know the locations and distances of all those city or towns in, I don't want to say city, that doesn't sound right. Those towns in Virginia. Brickable World says, current news is just the tip of the iceberg. Once you realize that the world we live in is making me existentially depressed and devastated. Just want to be with my son as much as possible. I hear you, Brickable World. Thus, the biblical worldview is the way to go. I'm not gonna try and you know, preach to anyone, but yeah, you have to have a faith and understanding of something bigger than you, which is why my faith in God is so important. But yeah, if you look at the modern world with the advent of AI and the constant just haranguing of news and headlines and things are going on in the macro world, it's crazy. You can't, just in the last 20 years, you go back to obviously the millennium and what's happened since then, and what continues to happen with and then of course all the hyperbolic political stuff. It rocks your sense of like, is there any sanity out there? This is why those road trips, going to those places, oh, that would be so nice. Talk about therapy and brick therapy. Talk about just going out in the countryside before everything gets, unfortunately, probably overrun by bad political policies, to see the country and still see those historic sites preserved. I think that's so important. So important. If I could go to some of those places. Yes. Right outside Charlottesville, Virginia. The Real House is about a third. Oh, okay, I saw that. Charlottesville is where University of Virginia and Monticello is. Okay. I will have to look that up on a map though, because yeah, I want to see. I think, yeah, wasn't Thomas Jefferson the founder, or I think he's credited with the founding of University of Virginia. But yeah, just to see that part of the state, or the country, I should say, plus the state. Good stuff. Oh no, here we go. Interior stickers. This is where I'm sure the X-Acto knife would probably come in handy. I don't even think the brick separator will help me, because you have to drop in a sticker here, kind of like those electric grates, those light beamed walls. I don't know how else to describe it. Or this is more of like an elevator, a turbo lift type elevator. So we'll see how this goes with this sticker. So thanks for being here. Those of you guys that are just watching and hanging out and talking Lego, talking vintage everything, especially if you were around in the 80s and 90s. It's fun to just rethink through those things. I can't necessarily say relive, because we're not doing any of the technology from back then, just talking about it. But yeah, some really cool types of just more authentic technology back then. It wasn't all digital. That was the thing. Like, it was still data on a disc or whatever, but yeah, it wasn't all digital. You could own your own movies, you could own your own music, versus have it on a cloud or streaming service, which is pretty much the norm now. And yeah, just not deal with glitches or internet issues or anything like that. You just had your entertainment right there. Of course, it is still the modern world, highly dependent on electrical power and all that, but yeah, just fun stuff growing up with that. And then of course growing into adulthood, still having that technology available. Fun stuff. All right, so the stickers are placed about as good as I can put them there, but there we go. It's like a turbo lift, I think. This must go on that rotating round plate here. And this must be like the entrance into the hangar bay. I don't even know what the technical term would be. And of course, parts of Lego, some parts of Lego just don't stay together very well until you kind of add all the other plates on top to kind of wedge it all in. But we have a rounded build here of this, building up the Star Wars. Aha, this is the Luke entrance thing. Okay, that's what I'm doing right here. That part right there. The entrance thing, you know, the thing. The entrance into the bay as they don't really show it in the episode. They just show his ship. It's kind of cool how they show it. They look out the window, they see his X-Wing fly by, and then it parks somewhere. And then the next thing you know, that he is already on board the ship and ready to bypass everything and take out the Dark Troopers without so much as breaking a sweat. I think maybe he put some effort into his battle, or into his Jedi skills, but okay, there we go. We have some more. These don't always go together cleanly. This almost feels like another diorama piece that could fit in that UCS Death Star. So there we go. Luke will be, we can place the Luke. So it doesn't go together smoothly, even when it's already assembled. Good old, these round pieces, man, come on, they're just so fragile. I hope, is there something else that holds this into place? Because it's like a little bit of pressure and it all falls out. So there you go, there's Luke, or whoosh, there he goes. He's ready to take out some dudes, ready to take out some Dark Troopers. So there we go. Drop Bear Bricks. Psh, hey, Drop Bear Bricks, welcome back. I have to agree. I'm an Australian, have 3 girls, 9.5-year-old twins, 3.5-year-old toddler, and people are already panic buying locally. Fuel is being rationed to 40 liters per vehicle. Oh gosh, here we go. Brickable World, and I just don't want to leave the house. I got anxious sending my kids to school and daycare, and yeah, mentally, I haven't been doing so well. It's hard, guys. I get it. It's hard. John Powell says, have you ever heard of Skyline Drive and the Blue Ridge Parkway in the Blue Ridge Mountains? I'm 5 minutes from that. I've heard of, obviously, the Blue Ridge Mountains. I did not know about the Blue Ridge Parkway or the Skyline Drive, John Powell. That sounds amazing. I need to look that up. I'm sure there's some pretty good pictures already posted up there on the internet. See, those type of escapes will help you guys. Of course, you guys in Australia, you have to have similar country escapes you can get to. Hello, Lego Uncle. Hello, Chris Vick. Psh, thanks, you guys, you loyal returners. Love it. Thanks for being here and helping with our channel. Just logging in those minutes and hours and then talking about all things today. I like it. Not just Lego, but yeah, there's life from growing up, definitely seems like a more innocent time. But yeah, once we entered into the early 2000s and then the 2008 economic drop, what would you call that, downturn, it was definitely more intense than I realized, hearing people reflect on it now. And then, of course, the start of the 2020s didn't come in so smoothly either. We know what happened in 2020. And yeah, then since then, it's just been just macro events. Don't need to get specific, but yeah, macro events that definitely impact things. So lots going on in the world. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking for adding in a panel reader. You know, this is the first time for this piece here. This is not a deep thought, but this is the first time on these angular pieces that have actually plugged in a Lego piece on the back of these. Usually these just kind of stand alone, I want to say. Maybe they have been used. I mean, obviously it's made to have Lego pieces connect on the backside as well. But I think this is the first time I've actually put in something on the back of these pillar type reverse slope pieces. So now we're getting a little more character to this build, a little more design element to it. And there we go. I have returned, says Xavier. Xavier's back. Oh my goodness. Xavier's back. And Xavier, you're here just in time to encourage another sticker placement, another random sticker placement of some kind of panel looking piece, some kind of, monitor, I don't even know, just a random Star Wars connection here that makes you think this thing is very, very complexly built in this other galaxy far, far away. Okay, there, now it's getting some more character. Luke's showing off the design and the pathway he will take to eventually annihilate these dark troopers. These guys don't stand a chance, man. So there we go there. So Xavier says, let's go. Xavier, I'm starting. I don't think I'll finish because I have to go pick up my son at work here, but we got 75324, the start of the Dark Trooper attack, 166 pieces, and a fun build so far. I think what's made this build even more fun is, talking with Brickable World here, Drop Bear Bricks and John Powell about various things, various places, various collections, various experiences in life, and trying not to get too down though. Gotta make sure you focus on, like you said, family, very important. Keep your focus on family, spending time with them. Time, the most valuable resource we have, because very finite, you can't store it. As much as pictures and video, kind of record things, but and then of course a faith in God himself. So very cool, as I hold up a Star Wars build. But this is fun. That's a pretty cool build. Had to happen twice, but never missing a piece. I was missing the sticker sheet with this set. Oh, no way. I thought I had lost a sticker sheet when I was building up what was that one recently with you guys? I think it was the, it was the Joker, lowrider. I thought I had lost that because that was a build I'd taken everything out of the box, and then when we moved back over to the US, I put all the sticker sheets in like this Ziploc bag, and then found the stickers. So maybe you did something like that, John Powell, but sticker sheets it's good. I think this thing would be fine without any stickers. It's just kind of the elevator part or the console there, although Luke's standing in front of it, might be good to have, but other than that, very cool. Well, thanks guys for joining me on this live stream. Thanks for the 15 likes. And have to finish a little bit earlier today, but I started a little bit earlier today. Got to rev up to getting to the daylight savings. Gonna go spring forward an hour this weekend. So if that affects you guys or not, I don't know if everybody observes daylight savings, but thanks for being here. If you were here for the channel and you're new, please remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Thanks everyone.